corner of the map right now. To London is Afro.
And oh my God, there are just a legion of players here. Peekaboo, I've been here the whole time. It's been a crazy day. It is time for the final match of the night. It's been a wild one here in Minnesota. Thank you for those that have stuck around with us all day long, but now two teams. They had to rebound today. They had to rebound in a big way. They brought it. They had what it took. They got the W, but now they've been sitting, waiting to get back at it. Let's introduce the teams. We're going to kick things off with the London Royal Ravens. Zero, Nasty, Gizmo, Afro.
All right, well, somebody just got a shoe on stage. Gizmo is literally signing it absolutely typical out of the guys. But you know what? I'll take it. That's some serious vibes. Afro with the money shot, tossing it back to the fan. And you know what? At least the vibes are high across the board, and they're heading into their best hardpoint map. That's going to be Berlin, opening up the series. They are 6-2 overall.
I want to give a special shout out to Zero, by the way. He told me my shoe was untied as I came up here. That could have been a catastrophic accident. So Zero, thank you. Thank you very much, and good luck in the match. But on the other side of it, a team with a fill-in. Maybe the expectations weren't that high, but they have been fighting. They have been battling. They are improving match by match. Let's give it up for Los Angeles Guerrillas. Slasher, Asim, Spark, and Huke.
Listen, these guys have nothing to lose. They're coming here playing with a sub, and their sub led the lobby in damage and KD in the last series. I'm looking at Spark to turn up once again. They played phenomenal, and they have a chip on their shoulder. We'll see if they can come out and beat a top 3 team. Maven, let's get this thing started, baby.
Here we go, baby. Final match of the night here for day 2. Let's close it out in a big way. To our commentators, Studdy and Lando.
Thank you so much, Maeve. Yes, it is our final match of the day, and what a wild day that it has been. Jay, we started off, feels like 9 hours ago, but 100%. We're here. It has been a wild Friday, but it is, like we said, our final game of the day, a banger, to put it lightly. Like we said, loser of this game, they're headed home. Ravens versus Guerrillas. I don't know, you and I have talked about this a decent amount coming into this game. You know, I think on paper we like the Ravens, but you got to be really excited with what you saw in that last game for Guerrillas.
100%, man. They went out and played a team like Toronto Ultra, who were the second best team that we had all year last year. Yeah. But they have just been struggling this year so far. They win every single respawn. So huge on the side of LAG, playing with a substitute player. Like you heard Joe say it, there's nothing more scary than playing a team that has nothing to lose. So if I'm London, you have to answer early into this series. You have your best hardpoint, Berlin hardpoint starting off. They're sitting at 7-2 on that map, but this is also the best hardpoint for LAG. So this map 1 is going to be a huge momentum for either one of these teams who will walk away with it.
Yeah, and we'll specifically talk on the side of the Royal Ravens, as we mentioned, right, a 6-2 record. You see the numbers, the KD, the hold percentage, and most specifically, the break percentage, 54%. That's been the talking point around this team, Jay, for the last, I don't know, month or so, is how great this team can be at breaking. They coincide that with the number of what, fantastic stats, the KDs, the holds, etc. This is a scary map, really, for either of these teams. It is going to be an all-out fight, a slobber knocker on Berlin.
Yeah, and I'm looking at London to really step up, because in that series versus Paris, even though they were able to close it out in a 3-1 fashion, it was still very sloppy. When you talk about this London squad, what they're able to do so well in the respawns is that they're so aggressive. They're always just putting a lot of pressure on the map, and when they're doing that, that's when they see a lot of success. You see the ranks popping up. 9th in rotation currently for London, 6th on the side of LAG. 2nd in holds compared to 10th in hold percentage for LAG, and then 1st in breaks compared to 9th. The biggest hard point that's going to be on this is going to be that P3, because we saw London in their earlier series. They're always able to chain that P2 to P3. But for LAG, shout out to my man Carson for this, P3, they tend to dominate. They average about 30 points on that hard point. They need to make sure that they're controlling those spawns. Players that went big, at least earlier in their series, obviously the SMG duo really stepped up. Asim and Huke both put up like a 1.10, but Spark, being the substitute player, leading the team with a 1.12. He has to have the same impact here.
Absolutely, my friend. Both teams, a great hard point for either side, and oh my goodness, right into the mix we go. Zero, Afro, Simp flying forward, and the same thing can be said for good old Byron. A great little break off the rip here for London, not on the preferred side, at least in regards to spawns, but they break through in a solid way. I mean, obviously, Jay, we talked about the stats for either team. A great hard point for Ravens, a great hard point for LAG. Most important stat, I think it's fair to say, is that LAG are off of a dominant victory on this very map versus the Ultra. They go up 70-0. Asim starts off 7-0. As we said, a major swing game off the rip as trades aplenty. LAG look to claim the final 10 seconds.
Big 2Ps coming in from Spark to secure this final couple of seconds on this P1. So that's going to put them down by at least 10 points. But off the rotation, you see London, they're fully set up. They have a player towards the warehouse. Nero has a huge one-on-one. He is going to lose it. But Afro at least keeping control of top, middle, broken. As they're going to be able to get in the hill. They shut down the pressure from that street side, and they're able to flip spawns. That's a great play coming in from the Ravens.
Great little play. Huke trying to be a thorn in the side. We know how great of a player that he can be. So to try to at least dance around here throughout the offense, but Zero's there to cut him down. No time to dance on the tables. No time to mess around with all the very, very nice paperwork that we have got. It's now being spread out across Berlin. Back and forth we go, but ultimately it is the Ravens now with control, specifically Gizmo watching over for the cross. The close spawns granted for Nasty means that the Ravens are aware of where LAG look to be coming in from. However, little moment here from Asim. He gets dealt with back and forth as we like to discuss. It is now LAG prepared for fire, prepared for the P3 that, as you called it, Jay, London see a lot of success on.
Yeah, this is both the money hills for both of these squads. Can the Guerrillas hold down the pressure coming down from street side? As Zero does find one, Afro trying to put it on in fire. He's going to be able to spot Huke and win the gunfight as well. So on a 4 spree, potentially trying to work towards some streaks. Just trying to be patient, not trying to at least keep the kills stagnant. As they win that first gunfight towards street, Ace and Spark trying to go big to secure those spawns. But London, they break in, they flip with 40 seconds left.
Oh, this is a huge break already out of the London boys. Huke gets dealt with as well. The close spawns granted for London, and already off the rip, we're seeing why this team has been called the best breaking roster on Berlin specifically. Some of the scariest numbers in the CDL, but Guerrillas do not want to give this one away, specifically Spark. Now with 3 in a row, finally gets dropped with the nade. But at the very least, Ravens have made this one competitive, have not allowed for Guerrillas to get the money hill that they so desperately hoped for. On rotation again, it is Asim here. By no means the same story when we talk about hill number 3 to hill number 4. But a major swing now potentially for the Guerrillas as Huke lingers through middle.
And look at the players from the Ravens. They were going to go around the backside of the warehouse. They influenced the spawn for Gizmo to spawn on them. So do LAG read the push as Asim does find the first? They know that the spawns are starting to come in towards the back for London. They're keeping the pressure there. They're getting a lot of time here. 40 seconds remaining on this P4 hard point. You see Nasty. He's going to start to spawn all the way across the map. But still, his teammates are doing a great job as Gizmo is able to find 2.
Oh, lovely. Double coming in from Giz. Nearly finds the 3rd. But as we said, I mean, this has just been an excellent first set of rotations so far from London. A great amount of rotations earned early from the Guerrillas, but at the very least, the Ravens are just doing an excellent job of not allowing these points to go either which way. If they're getting them, great, but as long as LAG are not getting these seconds, that's the best situation that you could ask for. The final 1v1 will happen at tracks, and finally LAG are able to blink for a moment, reset and prepare now for P5.
They already did the first job of just controlling towards P2 as Afro's able to find 2 with the pistol. LAG starting off with this initial time, down 15 points. Gizmo with a huge nade to at least take Smart off for the time being. But Slasher, his main focus is just holding down top 3. This is a power position on this hill. His teammate in the team is going to be able to assist him. He's just slaying, not allowing London to try to get on this point. Still down 15 points, but you see 35 seconds remaining. We know how crucial those P1 spawns can be. London currently still have them.
As the final 25 seconds look to tick on through. As we said, London right now in the objective, but more specifically, top left of your screen, you see Gizmo sitting right now at 16-7. We talked about, for the future of these games, you do want to see a player like him go off, start to have some great performances, especially if they're eyeing up what could be the loser's run. Now sitting on 5 LAG with the preferred spawns, but once more, Royal Ravens in the hill early. We'll see if Gizmo can earn that glide bomb, as that'll be Smart. Now entering in toward his 6th kill, now makes it 7. Gizmo having himself a game to start. and will set his team up now for some great control. LAG, their heads are spinning right now.
Yeah, this is difficult for LAG. They're all spawning out towards top plat. They should be able to try to break in as they find a couple kills. All of London starting to spawn out towards lower trades. As aBeZy picks up one Afro here to at least relieve the pressure a little bit. But with 30 seconds left, this is going to basically be the last push coming in from London. You have to start thinking about that rotation now.
You absolutely do. Big rotation already in LAG. A lot of work to be done, but a great hard point where they can start to bring this one on back. Let's go ahead and step aside, though, and see how the comms are sounding. Let's go to a listen with the London Royal Ravens.
Listen, get top of the whole.
Wait, there's Huke says 2-0.
Listen, would it be a P5 if I don't have it?
You missed the spot. You missed the spot.
You could have got really good time and really good time.
I think.
Nobody get street.
P5, I'll get street. P5. That's got it.
I can get all your P5. I got your P5.
Get my back door. Get my back door. On me back. Get my back door.
Marcus, stop his speed. Get cat. Marcus, straight down. Come down. Statue. Marcus, statue.
Yeah, he's in time now. In time. He's close B2.
What do you want?
Jump in. Close left corner.
B1.
I need time.
I don't know where he is.
Let's go second.
Big time. I spawned out.
Big scrap, guys. Hey, Pool, I can't see him. I'm channeling. Street. One more street, guys. Get that scrap, huge scrap. One more street, guys. Can push up to the
Some great comms there out of the London boys. A young roster, but not sounding like it when it comes down to the communication. A big hill up next for LAG. Let's go ahead and listen in with them as they've got a massive hard point prepared next.
I spawned out. They're gonna hit the back. You're gonna have to play tight.
I just make fire weak Afro. He's going street tank. One street tank. They're all going street.
Yeah, go in the back on street.
There's 9 in the back one. Nice, go.
Look at my back window. Deep back nasty. Watch out all the way to the back Eddie.
Two. Trey in zero.
Nasty dead.
Yo, Trey was weak there. Last guy.
Back Eddie again. Dead. Nice.
Front weak guys. Two front. One's back right and one's front door.
Front door. Watch out. Good shit. Nice shit. I detonated front. You're good. Can someone get my fire?
I have your dub dead. One more your fire. Probably.
I'm seeing
one in the fire.
Trying to get your fire.
Nothing front.
I got your bottom fire, brother. One guy's
I'm
bottom fire.
I'm getting out left.
One
Get by
front door,
yourself,
front door,
Boston.
Where?
Front door.
No, he's at all that front.
One more catch with me, guys.
Yeah,
I'm toying with this guy, catchers right now.
He jumped at you.
Yeah, he killed me, lobby.
I've been back warehouse.
And comms are clean from both of these teams, but LAG, they were able to get back into this game by withstanding the push, even with the glide bomb. Huke goes huge. He's able to find that two-piece, basically spawn all of London towards that back alley. That's why they're currently down 20 points. They have the rotation. LAG have fought back in this game.
Oh, when Gizmo gets the unfortunate timing, he's able to stay alive, possibly with Nasty. Things could start to change on up, but hey, LAG be getting the heat on up. Everybody going on a little bit of a spree. Huke eventually drops, but starts to make things questionable now for the Ravens. What does the push seem to be like? Instantly red out of the Guerrillas front as they're prepared for it. Huke, a great double granted for him. LAG with a 10-point advantage and 20 valuable seconds still left over at the trains. But it's Huke the nuke going off, and the Ravens once again silenced.
There's only 10 seconds left, so you have to start thinking about that rotation towards P5. You see number 2 in Nasty. He knows that the power position has to be towards his 3-story, but Huke, he's just roaming and frying on a 5-story before he does get taken down. You see all of London, though, spawning out towards that top plat. Spawns for the Guerrillas, still spawning at warehouse. Number 6 in aBeZy, trying to at least push up that street side, calling out the cross for his teammates. As Slash is going to be able to find one, Huke with the second. But neither one of these teams are just trying to play for that time. Neither one of them. They're trying to focus on these spawns. London do not want to flip.
Trying to think about the long game, and obviously makes the most sense for London. But the positive thing for LAG, seconds you walk away with only get you ever closer to that 250-second mark, but a great trade overall favoring the side of the Ravens. A 4-for-2 exchange, as now they lock down the time, and now they can sit somewhat pretty with those spawns just behind them. As Zero looks to clear out the lanes, making things that much easier for his young core inside the middle. Afro beginning to heat on up as he enters in to 30-kill range. Nasty as well, doing what he can. But take a look at player number 5. Slasher has made his way toward the back, already found one onto Afro. That could be the play, and they just get squad spawns. This is a massive situation for LAG. Gizmo does his best to try and handle it, but they will not. The Ravens thought they were clear. Slasher makes the play, and just like that, the Guerrillas are less than 20 away from winning.
LAG just simply had to hold one push coming in from London, from that back alley. Nasty finds one, but here comes Huke. He's gonna pop up. Spark with a little bit of assistance. As LAG, they're able to hold only 12 seconds now from closing out this map number 1.
Not far away at all. London have got to make a push, and it's gotta be one. That's got to be strong. 4 more seconds. London start to break on through. They actually get 3 down, but it's only 4 points away. LAG getting these dockside spawns, decide to chalk it and go for new, but Nasty is at least able to take down one. Very, very big kill right now for Gizmo, but the Volk's there to shut him down. A great little moment there for Spart, as like we said, 4 more seconds away. Afro, with a sense of urgency, does all that he can, but that will not be enough. The LA Guerrillas come out and answer on what has been the most dominant hard point for London. And talk about a turnaround.
Insane stuff from LAG. The turning point had to be when Huke, when they got that break onto that P3. You saw London, they put a lot of investment into that hard point. They invested the glide bomb. They had everyone attack through street side, but they had no one go through fire. Huke finds that 2-piece. He spawns London all the way across the map. They were able to get enough time to at least get back into this game. And then eventually they chained that to the P4 to take the lead. It got a little bit scary though, because LAG, they do a great job of just not allowing teams to get a majority of the time towards that P5. But London, they got back into it, only down by 10 points. They found themselves on the rotation, but like you said, Slasher makes the play. He takes the long route. He sets up the pinch. They find both kills in the hill. And then at that point, there's only one player left from London in towards that P1 hard point. Just not going to be enough to close it out. And I'm telling you, man, there's nothing more scary than a team that has nothing to lose. And right there, LAG showed it in the map 1.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, there's not a whole lot of expectations on this team. I mean, it would have made perfect sense. There would be no judgment by any means if LAG came into this and just absolutely get dominated, right? If they just get sent out of the tournament top 12, nobody would bat an eye. We'd just all be hoping that Gunless could be here. But these guys are performing, and it looks like they're just getting better series by series. They're starting to get in stride. I mean, what, you and I had the first cast where Spark gets brought in versus OpTic Texas. That was in the Major 2 qualifiers. Did not look like he was in his element. But ever since then, right, ever since that series and since we have got to LAN, they have turned up and they have performed. They've found their footing. And they just won a huge hard point that London, I'm sure they were guaranteeing on taking.
That's beautiful out of LAG with the sub, man. You got to keep saying that because this is not their full roster.
No.
Spark comes in on a couple days
Big
notice.
T is not here.
Exactly, and they're making this work. So now they have the early momentum by beating London on their best hard point on that map number 1. Now you're going into a Tuscan Search and Destroy where neither one of these teams have seen a lot of success. But London, they really do struggle. They're 33% on offensive wins. They're 40% on defensive wins. On the opposite side for LAG, it's 36% on offense, 47% on defense. And when you take a look at these stats, you can just tell, man. Last on the side of London, they barely played this map.
Jay, who
and it
picked
definitely
this?
shows. I don't know.
Who picked this?
I don't know.
I don't understand. You're 0-6 combined. I don't know. Maybe it's LAG just throwing something out saying, hey, might as well. I mean, they're not good at it, so let's just, you know, give it the best shot that we can. But, you know, that stat does absolutely stand out for the London side. When I know LAG actually went to round 11 on this not long ago. So there is potential for that being the choice for that side. But, I mean, you and I got to watch a few times for the London Royal Ravens. I want to say that Tuscan Search Destroy, they were up. Were they up 4-0?
Yeah, 4-0. Zero had a glide bomb. They get the first blood, and then they lose the next, like, 6 rounds straight. It was a terrible performance from the London Royal Ravens, but obviously, when you had that confidence, you go up 4-0, you were doing a lot of things right. You just need to be able to close out games.
Yeah, and these Search and Destroys, I mean, that you and I have commentated over London that we've watched this weekend haven't been solid. Like, there haven't been too many great, you know, moments. We talked about that Bocage Search Destroy earlier in the day, where it was like Zero was constantly left in these clutching situations, a lot of first bloods that they didn't really, I guess you could say, invest in as much. It's been kind of a shaky mode for either of our teams. Another thing to note as well, LAG yet to win a Search Destroy with the substitute. Obviously, it makes sense given the strategy side, but if this team is improving, maybe S&D is one of those things that gets ironed out.
I know, especially if they lose in the 6-5 search and destroy to Toronto and you let Insight 1v3. Like,
Yeah, that's
they
true.
would have their first S&D underneath their belt already. But you can just tell, man, LAG, like I said, nothing to lose. Confidence is on their side. Got the support of Spart's mom in the crowd. The young man is just playing well, man. He's playing so well, really stepping up for the moment.
Without a doubt, man. We hear the cheers, obviously, for Spart, for this LAG team who, like we said, are just going to give it their all. They're doing it for Gunless. I had a chance to chat with the team earlier, and he was like, yeah, man, we're doing it for Pierce. We're doing it for Gunless. Obviously, if Gunless has watched this, buddy, we wish you the absolute best and can't wait to have you back on the stick soon. But heading to this Tuscan Search Destroy, like you said, Jay, it has been the Spart show. In a lot of these games, obviously the Tuscans have been the talk of the town. Maybe not the Search Destroys, more in the respawn side of things, but Asim and the entire team has been really impressed by what this guy Spart has been able to do.
They just have to make sure that they're playing their man advantage correct. You cannot allow another 1v3 to happen. When you have that advantage, force them to either plant the bomb or defuse the bomb. Those shoulders, but make sure you're staying alive, not giving your life up for free, because that is when London can capitalize on it. Afro, he does a great job of at least putting a lot of pressure on, finding that first blood, getting out with his life. Looking at him to have the same impact here on this map number 2.
Without a doubt, partner, it's time for Tuscan Search and Destroy. One of what could be 2 opportunities to see this map as Tuscan Harp will be game number 4. But hey, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. It's time to hop into round number 1, and we are in a very interesting round 1 to start. It is LAG attacking the B site in round number 1. A ballsy call, but as Sun likes to say, they are indeed on the table, and they are on the board as Spart, though, does get taken down by the nade, an instant 3v3.
Big kill by Zero to at least pick up that kill and even up the numbers. Now with 40 seconds left, Afro is going to get shot in the back. He only has 54 health remaining as Asim does find one. Going to put the pressure on towards Zero because they know he has a sniper. Now Afro left in the 1v3.
1v3 for young Marcus Reed. LAG make the interesting call, and it works out perfect. I know those the stats normally, right, when we talk about Tuscan Search Destroy, I mean, for B, it's like 10%.
Yeah.
Like 10% of the time, it actually works out, but that just continues to be the trend. When it comes down to Tuscan S&D, those defensive spawns get moved up. It allows for the attacking team to maybe not have as much control, no more guaranteed positions at that A site. And that could be the reason why we're seeing a lot more teams pivot toward the other side of the map.
You saw London, that completely caught them off guard. When Nasty pushes up to try to get towards P5, he gets caught with his pants down, trying to run back. As LAG win that first offense. And now London on the attack. LAG only have one player, which is gonna be Huke, that tries to take that mid-map control. Trying to find an opening slasher, great crossfire to at least get that first blood.
Good answer on the other side out of Gizmo, and a solid first game despite the loss. See if he can continue to do some wizard-like things in the Search Destroy. But current 3v3 LAG look to stack up over at P5. We'll see if that does end up working. Gizmo in the major cut eventually gets dropped, and Nasty over at the bomb in a nice placement decides to plant it so that he can't be spotted from fire. A heads-up play from the Rook as LAG now with the man advantage look to retake.
But look at this play from LAG. Instead of committing towards the flank, they have players that wrap back as well. So Sparta's getting all this information that no one has pushed out towards their side. They should be able to find one. Zero's gonna give up his position, and once they take down Nasty, you can hop this bomb. Zero towards top church. You have the sniper. Slasher has the angle, and LAG are able to clean up the round. Go up 2-0.
And you love to see that. See, he's giving some love to the new guy on the block, Spart. And that was just a perfect retake. Like you said, Spart goes for the visuals. The rest of the team, they find the kill. They instantly hop on the bomb. And I guess you could say some unorthodox missed snipes out of Zero. We don't see that happen very often. Goes like 0 for 2, 0 for 3.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Probably if he picks up that kill in a 1v2, it's probably a little bit easier, but still have to try to get past the gunfight of Slasher. Yeah. He had the positioning towards the middle of the map. Your player was already on the bomb, so that should have been an LAG round regardless. LAG are up 2-0 this time. London, they're going to put a lot of pressure on towards A. Can Nasty try to find a pick?
And he may just fin to go for the full-on flank. That could be the idea. Oh, it's Spart there to read him. Like a book, Nasty instantly gets taken down in LAG. Now with numbers, have the opportunity to work this a little bit. A minute on the clock and a lot of time to decide on what bomb Really tickles their fancy. It looked like it was B. Now it's A, another pick as Afro gets aggressive. And once more, it is put on to 0 with this sniper to try and clutch on up. But take a look at LAG. They see a quick glimmer, a glint of the scope, and they make the rotation. Gizmo's here, though.
Yeah, they're not going to give him any opportunity. They get the information that 0 has a sniper. They're going to be super aggressive towards B. Do they spot Gizmo, though, towards top radios? Asim's going to slide in, find that kill. Now all left up to 0 in the 1v4. He picked up the MP40. It's not going to be easy as Spark closes out the round. The young man is stepping up tremendously. The fact that he read that push through A, finds that first blood, it's beautiful plays out of him, man.
Without question, as we said, not making his debut, right? I know there was a lot of people who were like, oh, Spark, I was making his debut in the CDL. No, he actually made his debut back in the early stages of the CDL, our first season back in MW with this very roster of the LA Guerrillas. He's been hanging out in challengers and been one of the top prospects. He was picked back up in December of 2021. LAG wanted to make sure they had this guy in the lineup, and clearly it has been working out. A 4-1 start for him. Take a look at the numbers from LAG in the top right of your screen. Everybody sitting on streaks. And that just heavily emphasizes the importance of this round for Ravens. Not only do you just need to get a point on the board, but you need to get these potential glide bombs out of here as well.
And look at the positioning of Huke. He's so far pushed to bet A. He's gaining all that information, but he's actually going to give it up. They probably think that the bomb is going to be rotating towards B, so Asim has to try to go big in his position. But London, they're just taking their time. They're trying to get some information. They were able to spot Huke. Can they find this first blood?
Oh,
and they do.
They do indeed. Huke gets found out inside of you, and with that could be the green light now for the Ravens. Gizmo looking for information inside of middle. Nasty finding the second pick with the nades. Or at least able to provide some decent damage there on the player number 3. Gizmo has to back up as 0 falls. The veteran out of it, which is somewhat of a weird situation to be in if you're Ravens, but take a look at the play from Spark. Comes around the corner with the pistol and now puts the Ravens in somewhat of a bind. Another kill. And the glide bomb will be earned for the future. A current 1v1. Slasher versus Gizmo. Only 7 seconds to work with, but Slasher beams him down.
That's a 4v2. That is a 4v2 round. Great plays coming in from Spark to find that second kill to pick up that glide bomb. The young man is stepping up so big right now in this map number 2.
He's confident.
Yeah,
he's confident. Man. Oh yeah, he's making the plays. He's getting the gas from his teammates.
Wow.
But look at these players fall. Look at these players fall. Ring around the rosy, getting the glide bomb, basically a buzzer beater type of score streak. And then really in that situation, sets up Slasher perfectly. 4 up and 4 down, LAG. Dominant so far throughout this Tuscan, but the Ravens in need of an adjustment, in need of something to change. And maybe this early pick on Huke could be exactly what they need, but Slasher takes both of them down. They run right into the right into the trap of Slasher. As the glide bomb comes through, no kills found, but the information, without a doubt, is taken into consideration. Ravens a 2v4 retake just to get their first round on the board.
It's not going to be easy. Right now, LAG, they are playing flawless search and destroy. 0 is going to give a position. This is that snipe. Nasty tries to go for a flank, and Spark takes him down. Oh my God, what a shot from 0 to make it a 1v2, but with 20 seconds left, he knows he has to put a lot of pressure on towards top fire, but all the way across the map, sees Slasher. He's the safety net playing towards top church. He finds one, and with only 10 seconds left, does not have enough time to get on that bomb. And this is beautiful out of LAG, man. This is flawless search and destroy. They read that push coming in from London perfectly. They know that they have the glide bomb. They know that London cannot attack through the middle of the map because you saw Slasher, he pre-fires from top broken. They know that they're not going to push through A because that basically is going to give up a free kill. They know that the push has to come through P5. They set up beautifully for it. Huke basically baits, and Slasher finds that 2-piece to make it the initial 2v4. This is wild. This is insane, man.
This is wild. Literally a team with a substitute is taking it to one of the best rosters that we have in the CDL on this Tuscan Search Destroy, now up 6-0. They've yet to win this S&D, and now they find themselves one round away from closing it out. It will be the Ravens coming out on top in this early team fight. With numbers and on attack, that could be everything. Slasher fires out a few bullets, and well, he'll look to join alongside what has been their guy so far in Spark. A great kill there on Dynasty, 2v2. 2v1.
Spark finds one.
2v1.
Spark finds one. Gizmo. It's great time. He's able to shoot the first player. But Spark, the young man, for the 6-0, completes the turn on. And you can just see it in his face, man. He is playing with so much confidence right now. London just simply do not have an answer.
Give the shoe to Spark. Have him sign the shoe instead.
Man.
Come on.
He's going crazy right now.
I'm going up there for an autograph after this game is over. Goodness sake, 10-3. What was that last call? Was that a 2v3, 2v4?
2v3.
2v3.
Slasher and Spark once again.
What is happening? It's late. I'm fired up after that, Jay. I'm fired up after that.
That was just flawless search and destroy from LAG. Every time the Ravens started off by trying to at least throw them off guard with a push, LAG read it beautifully. Like, once they pick up that glide bomb, they go those first 4 rounds, they play it flawlessly. You clutch a 2v4 round, okay, the momentum's definitely gonna be on your side. And then once Spark picks up that 2-piece to pick up that glide, you can already tell, like, he's feeling himself. Up 5-0, like, we're gonna use the glide bomb, doesn't matter. It was, like, right there, it was just beautifully executed S&D from LAG. When you have a player like Slasher, he's definitely reading them like a book.
Without a question, man. I mean, well, this is like a PaulEhx situation when you summon in for London, just absolutely dominating for the team. Right now, Spark is having that very same performance. LAG up 2-0 right now versus the Royal Ravens. It is an elimination match, our final game of what has been a jam-packed Friday here at the Minnesota Major. When we come back after the break, it is time for Kavutu Control.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Howdy, friends, and welcome back. It is our final match of the day, and so far, it has been upset alert. LAG up 2-0 in this series versus one of the best rosters that we have got in the game, and it has been on that man Smart, eyes locked in, staring in the souls of the Royal Ravens, and right now social media is reacting the exact way that we expect them to. I guess you could say Smart deserves to be a part of a CDL team. The stocks are up. He's playing for a max contract, and Jay, if I was a CDL team, I'm signing this guy tomorrow.
100%,
tonight.
Man. Because look at what he's doing.
Sign my shoe as a contract.
Look at what he's doing versus the top 4 team that we currently have in the league. He came in on online, didn't really have the best performance, especially when you're going up against the best team in the game. But to come out here and make a statement, beating Toronto, currently up 2-0 in this series, after such a dominant search and destroy, you got to feel for the young man, man. He's looking tip-top form right now. As Mama Smart, you see her.
She's happy.
She's ready.
She knows that contract is coming. It's got to be. It's got to be at this point. But no, in all seriousness, Smart having himself an absolute day. I mean, I was scrolling through the Bluebird a little bit, and everybody's just like, yeah, this guy is absolutely dominant. I think I saw Shift being like, hey, this is now a Stan account officially for Smart. Obviously watching his challenger buddy just absolutely dominate right now. But it is an interesting situation, right? In all seriousness, LAG up 2-0. But the problem that now exists for the Royal Ravens is, Jay, they're going into a Gavutsu control. But historically, we'd be saying, oh yeah, this is great. But so far throughout our Major 2 tournament, they are 0-2 on Gavutsu, and especially in these round 5s, they've not seen success on the attacking end.
Yeah, they've really just been struggling, especially in that last series versus Paris. They outslayed the hell out of London. When you see London have a lot of success, it all starts with their initial gunfights. You see through the first 2 maps, Gizmo, he's having himself one hell of a series, and again at 1.2, was wondering when this young man would get back into that prime form that we saw back at stage 1. But here we go. London trying to get back into this series. LAG trying to close it out. London gonna put a lot of pressure on towards A. But look at the map control already from LAG. You already have aBeZy in their spawn.
Yeah, you already do. A team trying to provide all kinds of pressure, but Zero is gonna be there to handle him. The nice fight over at Afro. I gotta know where this KD is just at P1. No matter what game mode it is. He's got some insane stats here, but Gizmo now finding himself over a Top Gun. The position's quite powerful so far out of the Ravens roster. As you said, Jay, their last game on Gavutsu versus Paris, not good. Outslayed officially by 32 kills.
Sheesh.
So we know the ticks are now the story, but if you're not finding kills, you're not winning the game, baby. So we'll see what the Ravens have got up their sleeves in this starter of an attack. Right now, Zero, the sole man on the objective. It's really the Ravens just waiting for LAG to try to contest them. They're inside of the point. They're happy as can be.
They already completed the first tick at A. They're about to complete the second as Gizmo finds a huge kill onto aBeZy. And look at that minimap. Nasty's already putting pressure on towards B. Oh, all of LAG had to start focusing that B push, but here comes Afro. He's able to hit that flank. He finds 2, trying to go for the 3rd. Eventually does get shut down, but he stalls enough time to allow his teammates to complete this A point and extend it by a minute.
Yeah, and that has been, I think, one of the cleaner rounds already. If we just even ended it here, one of the cleaner rounds that we have seen from the Royal Ravens this weekend, starting things off with an early A capture, minute 30 on the clock, and right now sitting well in the life count. As they'll push through green, Zero looking for that information. Only guy that's going to be here is aBeZy. Maybe the one player that you don't want to be in this position is that man. Huke taking advantage of the map control. aBeZy doing the damage that he has to inside of the spawn, but Zero and Nasty find 2 of their own.
See, fortunately he does get taken down, but Huke, a little bit of assistance from across the map. aBeZy's going to come all spawn and find that last kill onto Zero. A huge one-on-one though from Nasty. Can he win this gunfight and at least secure P1 control for London? He does. One player here, though, is going to be aBeZy. He finds one. He does get traded. So now London, they can attack from the front with this P1 control.
They can indeed, but take a look at Huke. Take a look at Huke rushing on in with the auto. Maybe not the weapon that we see him go off with the majority of the time, but a great double there instantly will halt the push out of the Royal Ravens. Stunted for now, and Smart doing everything he can, as we said, just to try and diminish the forces, try and limit any of the numbers that the Royal Ravens look to try to gather up on at P1. As we talk about, more of a checkpoint for the attacking end. Nasty on the Cellium spot as Zero attempts to make the flank from the back. A great little situation now lined up for London. Stopping the time, Zero now enters into the party. And he'll walk away with the kill as well. A great situation now for London.
Now London get on the point, and Zero doing everything he can to just stay alive in his opponent's base. Eventually, before he does get taken down by Spark. So now LAG with only 6 lives remaining, there's 18 seconds left. All you have to do is just get this player out of the tank. As you see the pinch coming in from top ring, Huke does find one, but Gizmo and Afro able to find every single kill. Last player here is gonna be Slasher. No more respawns on the side of LAG.
Gizmo like an absolute laser beam from P1. Moments away from that point being captured. It's all on the Slasher and co. As they dive on in, this could be the break, this could be the chance, but London end up walking away with the kills. I'm not sure if they found the second tick onto B or not, but at the very least, 4 ticks in that opening attack. Not common to see on Gavutu, but London answer back accordingly, the exact way that you'd hope that they would, Jay, considering they're down 0-2.
Yeah, it was good out of London to fight for that P1 control. That's such a big position when you're trying to attack towards that B point. Nasty goes Hughes to find that 2-piece, and he ends that round on a 5, so he could potentially pick up some streaks if he can continue this on. He needs another 2 kills. You saw London, they're currently up by 5 ticks, 5 segments on that first offense. You see LAG trying to put pressure on towards A, but a huge gunfight. Zero's able to win it, shuts down that pressure towards B.
And that's a great start again. Out of London, walking away with the team fight. Zero finally gets taken on down there from Slasher. Nice little 3 in a row there for LAG, trying to break out of the base as the vet finds his way over at that B zone. So time's gonna be halted for the moment. Again, fights going down in boat, fights going down at the beach. And really it's just a matter of LAG, where do they want to supply the players? Where do they want to attack this? Right now, Slasher's somewhat unscathed, and actually has Smart alongside of him. The S&D duo has now translated into control, and they're winning the fights. They stacked the point. That is 2 ticks already at this B zone. Asim is doing the damage inside of the spawn. Nasty gets dealt with, and just like that, B captured out of the Guerrillas.
Such a beautiful play from LAG to put that pressure on towards B, and they also shut down the streak on the side of Nasty. So now the hard job is already complete. You're up by 9 lives. All you need to do is just complete this A point, and you will be up by 1 segment. See Spark trying to hold down towards top ship. He's able to find 2. Pressure's gonna be here. As the stack is gonna come in, they need to read this player on the flank though, as Gizmo's trying to make a play.
Trying to make the play. It's gonna be on a Slasher. He gets found out. Information earned with Huke with the nade. Now brings it into one player. Over at the objective, Spark does manage to get away. See if he can find a kill for his troubles. Does so, turns on with the pistol. And just like that, London get 3 down. Now it's LAG who get 3 down of their own. Nasty from the top, he gets dealt with. Seconds away from the objective being captured. Afro slides in, the 1v1, and Marcus Reed coming up clutch. We'll halt this one for now. London are flying now toward the spawn, down majorly in lives. A lot of time still to work with if you're Guerrillas, but that is some great life being shown out of the boys in red.
Yeah, if I'm LAG, the main focus point has to be just completing that tick on A. You know they up by 7 lives, so you can still win this round by just simply outslaying them. But you know how big that last segment is. You see a lot of LAG just trying to set up for that pinch. They spot a player in towards Gizmo, not able to pick up that kill though. But Smart and Slasher, they find 2. It's time to pounce.
Smart and Slasher again, no respawns remaining instantly for London. 1 player left onto the objective. Getting pounced upon is Gizmo, knowing that he has to try to challenge this. He has to try to see the zone, but he gets dealt with. Huke is on the cross, and just like that, 1 attacking round answered by another. By no means common on Gavutu, but it's late, Jay. Who cares? Throw the stats out the window.
LAG just got the job done on the offensive side. They attack towards that B point. Slasher and Spark go so big to eventually close that one out. At the same time they do with that, they shut down that kill streak on the side of Nasty. Such a big kill to eliminate him from that P1 area. They knew what they needed to do. You find a couple of these kills, we need this segment to at least put us up by 1 just in case it goes to that round number 5. At LAG, they hold on the defense. You see all of London trying to attack towards A once again. Gizmo finds the first. Here comes Spark though, trying to at least even up the numbers.
Let's see if this attacking trend will look to continue. Spark, a little bit of a heat check there onto the second one. Asim getting all kinds of comfortable inside of the spawn. The Ravens look to do the exact same thing. Asim gets dealt with, but now it's Afro's turn. Didn't have really too many opportunities to flank, and then opening Berlin, and tries to take his chance here on Kavutu. No answer there. Somewhat of a stalemate now. Lingers to the middle of the map. London bruise their way inside of the boat. That'll be the first tick through. LAG not going to give this one up, and off of that pick from Asim. That gives them all kinds of freedom now to seize on it.
Such big shots coming in from Asim. That's going to allow Slasher to eventually go on this flank. He finds 2 kills. Last player here is going to be Afro. He eventually gets taken down. So now LAG, they take map control. Your main focus has to be not allowing anyone to try to slip through the B. As London only complete 1 segment, we're currently tied in the tick column. There's 40 seconds remaining. 1 player does sneak through. It's going to be 0. We know how impactful he usually is at this B point. Afro finds 1. They're able to keep top ring control, and then Gizmo's also in their spawn. Right now, London are beautifully set up for this B capture.
Yeah, they make this look like a hard point right now. See how the Guerrillas look to retake, considering that 1 zone is already done in A. The kills continue to come in on the side of London, but maybe an opportunity for them also to get pinched on out. Asim from one end and Huke from the other, peppering them up like crazy. Afro wins 1, so close to capturing it B, but it will be silenced. And now the Ravens have to focus their attention now toward this A zone, but if they get a capture here, as we said, Jay, only 1 more left at that B zone. These have been such great attacking rounds. Excellent display here on Kavutu, as that A zone is just moments away from being captured. Another minute added to the clock and 1 more tick to go. Can London make it 2 for 2 on the attacking end?
It's a big kill coming in from Nasty. He's trying to fight for this P1 control. He knows that this is the success that they at least saw on the offensive first round, where he needs to try to replicate it. They take down Asim on the flank, so now they have full control. Gizmo going on the flank as well. This is starting to get scary. Last player up is going to be Huke. London should be able to get on this point, as Afro, unfortunately, is not going to slide on that. But 14-8 lives remaining, 14-7 now. LAG just need to hold this cross for a minute.
How long can they hold for? That'll be the test of this young team. But just like that, 2 go down. Be wise of Nasty at least to try to stay on alive. He'll at least find a pick before he departs. In fact, he'll find 2. Great little moment there. Byron Plumridge, and there we have it. Gizmo enters into the fray as well. A current 3 versus 12. London have found the ticks that they have been looking for. And LAG continues to fall by the wayside, but Smart stays alive. The unfortunate team nade will then allow for Zero to be the sole man in the point. He wins the 1v1, and just like that, attacking round 1 victory for London, attacking round 2 victory for LAG, and now here in round number 3, the Ravens get another attack. This is wild, Jay.
It just all starts with that P1 control, man. Once again, Nasty goes huge to win that initial gunfight, and then eventually he finds that 2-piece to force all of LAG to try to attack through the middle of the map. He finds that 2. Both of his other teammates eventually find the other 2. They get on the point. They were able to close it out. So now, LAG have to respond by winning another offensive round. Afro putting pressure on towards top ship. He's able to find 2. Almost shot his teammate there. But great trigger discipline. You see LAG, they're just committing towards B once again.
They do. It's a full-on bait, and right now the Ravens have been bamboozled. They've been bamboozled. Nasty, I thought for a moment had the chance to take down Asim, but as long as he stays back here, it makes things that much more difficult. He's on the flank. He is hot on the heels. And can he find the elimination? Yes, he does. The assistance there granted onto Nasty, the nade from the top. Afro calls it out and manages to make it land. Can it be 2 ticks through? It will be. 2 granted early. They're out of Slasher. The great pressure already out of the LAG side. And take a look at that clock. It's about to stop in a moment's notice. It's Huke beaming players from range. Zero and Gizmo, basically a poster, but in COD form. Great little play there out of Kyler, as now it is Spark, as we said, at that A zone. LAG with pressure everywhere.
I don't know what the hell is going on in this Kavutu control. We're seeing non-stop offensive wins. It's Nasty, great shot to take down Huke. He's on a three streak before he does get shut down, but that's gonna be 3 dead in the feed. Saw that earlier, that LAG are currently down by 4 ticks, but they need to win this offense to at least force this round number 5. It's gonna be tied up. They're fighting for that P1 control. Slasher wins 2 huge one-on-ones. Last player close is gonna be Nasty on that point. Look at the pinch coming in though from Huke.
Look at the pinch, coming on in. Huke makes his way through the second cut, now rounding the corner, finds the kill. They're on to Nasty. The Ravens have to try and do something because Huke continues to let that zone fly on through. Spart with the cover fire. Slasher enters in on 5 in a row. London will get taken down and take a picture. It'll last longer. 4 offensive victories. It's not over.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
It's not over. Stop the music. We're going to round number 5. LAG just clutched up tremendously.
We love the music.
2 offensive wins for both of these teams, but LAG, they do a better job at just completing that B segment, completing that A segment, which eventually allows them to get this defense going into this round number 5. But the way that this match has gone, neither one of these teams have won a defensive round.
This makes 0 sense whatsoever. No pun intended. Actually, pun fully intended. It's fine. 4 attacking round victories. Normally you'd say, okay, well, Ravens put in a precarious situation, but screw that. Who knows? Maybe it's great for them. A headbutt over toward the beach. And Nasty, maybe somewhat shaken, will now have a chance to vacation inside. Well, for a moment at the tank, he eventually gets dealt with. So early team fight victory gonna go the way of the Guerrillas. No real map positioning, no ticks granted early from the Ravens. With the presence that they now have over at the boat, Gizmo goes for the drop shot. He gets dealt with. Meanwhile, Zero providing the cover fire toward the top. Ravens posturing for position right now on the middle side of the map, and right now they've got that first hit granted on A.
Spark finds a huge kill at least towards the middle of the map as Afro is able to get out with his life. But when does ASIM decide to hit this flank? Because he can be the player that's going to break the setup on the side of London. It's looking like LAG is simply just going to give this up. They know that they have to fight for that P1 control. Afro finds one, but Slasher, he's still going to put a lot of pressure on towards the middle map.
Oh!
ASIM finds one as well. That's going to be 3 dead. Slasher almost finds the 3rd with the pistol. But you can see LAG, 50 seconds left. They're not trying to give it the safe capture.
They don't want to give it away. They want to make the Ravens work for every single life possible. Few shaky shots, Spart trying to stay alive, but it's Slasher who comes through with the double. And now just like that, it is Afro all by his lonesome, and boy, could they use a pick here. Spart fades away. What a play to set up Slasher again. Spart has snuck his way through and continues to assist Slasher in these eliminations. He's the assist man and can also get it done with the pistol, eventually trade it on out as the Ravens will seize control for a moment. Moments away from getting the capture, but it's not in just yet. It's not in just yet. The fight will continue to go down. Nasty will stay alive for the moment and put in those final bits of progression at the A zone. Eliminations aplenty, but another minute added.
And now, your focus point for LAG has to be just keeping control of this side of the map, keeping control of Beach, keeping control of P1. As Huke is going to be so far pushed up in their spawn. 14-9 and lives remaining. You have 1 player in London. It's going to be Afro. He's going to try to set up on this late push. There's only 45 seconds left. London only have like 1 or 2 more good pushes at this, but they need to fight for that P1.
They absolutely do. Meanwhile, Afro trying to sneak his way on in. Nasty does find the kills at P1 that you talked about, Jay. Oh no, find another one. That's going to be 3. Nasty gets the call to be sent on forward. Player number 8, I was going to say for a moment, you got kills going down on either side of the map. Nasty pushes forward. He gets dropped. Huke, who is in the base of the Ravens, he also gets taken down. The long-awaited flank out of Afro eventually turns into something as he'll be on the point. He'll win the 1v1 versus Asim. Nasty again continues to be a problem at P1, 36-28. Out of Big Byron, it is a 2 versus 7. Things begin to crumble. Could this be the final 2 lives of the tournament for the Raven? Zero, all by himself, a 1v5. Tosses out the shots with the red, but that will be it. The LA Guerrillas, nothing to lose. but they have proved us everything. A 3-0 sweep versus the Royal Ravens. Eliminated from Major 2, but LAG will see a CDL Saturday.
What an insane series from LAG. They start off on that map number 1. They go head-to-head versus London on their best hardpoint. They were able to win it. They play a map in Tuscan Search and Destroy that they have yet to find success on the entire year, and they dominated in a clean 6-0. And in that Kabuto control, I don't know what the hell that was.
I have no
4
idea.
straight offensive wins to start us off, but then finally, LAG are able to hold on the defensive side, close it out. It almost got scary though, because Nasty, every time they needed to fight for P1, he was winning such big gunfights time and time again. But eventually, LAG, they hold the line. Huke steps up, going 33 and 29, 25 non-traded kills with the AR in his hands. And like the Dash said, man, there's nothing more scary than playing a team that has nothing to lose. And right there for LAG, getting the 3-0, man, you gotta feel good for the young men.
Nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Spart as well goes positive in this match, as the Guerrillas filled with life, as they will survive to see another day. Bruised early in day number 1, but they have fought back valiantly in their 2 matches today. But Jay, get back to this Kabuto, man. One of the crazier Kabuto controls, without question, that we have seen this year. I know we've seen at times 2, I think at times maybe 3 attacks. I don't know if we've ever seen 4, let alone 4 straight. As it was London coming out, and LAG would answer the call each and every single time. Impeccable stuff out of the Guerrillas.
That had to be the most segments that we've seen on Kabuto
Oh, without
Control.
a doubt.
Without a doubt. We saw B captured, A captured by both of these teams to start us off. But LAG, they're able to walk away with the series in a 3-0. To talk about London a little bit, though, this is a team who we expected to be top 3, top 4 going into this event. It really just came out flat, man. It all starts with that series versus Florida. They get 3-0 there. They come back and they bounce back versus a team like Paris, which should be an easy match for them.
Right.
But then in this series specifically, they just simply were struggling versus a team they really didn't know what to expect from. You gotta go back to that map number 1. Like, they did a great job at that P2 hardpoint, but they were giving up the spawn every single time towards P3. And I know aLLeY talks about it all the time. Just give me a rotation, man. They give us a rotation. They probably start the series off with a little bit of momentum if they take that map number 1. But once that happens, a clean 6-0 from LAG and S&D. Kabuto Control was insane. What a great series to end the night.
What a phenomenal series, and what a story it is right now for our Cinderella team. I don't know if it's midnight yet, but it's getting close. LAG get the job done in a 3-0 fashion, without a doubt, an upset versus one of the best teams that we have in the game, and with a substitute. And I gotta say, that man Spart was beaming in this series, Jay.
And he didn't even use the Volk. He didn't use the Volk at all. Like, he probably put it up for like 1 or 2 seconds at the end of that Berlin, but he was just turning up, man. Congratulations to the young man.
Without a doubt, and I believe he is gonna be on stage for our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Maven, take it away, buddy.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right. So I guess listen, I'll be honest here, your Twitter game was fantastic when you first got asked to come up, but I just want to hear, like, when you found out you had to fill in, first thoughts.
Honestly, I was pretty excited, but mind blown, because like after the OpTic series, I was like, sheesh, bro.
Yeah, that was a tough one, probably just get rolling into it. But now that you've been with the guys here throughout the course of the weekend, you feel like you're starting to find your groove a bit.
Yeah, honestly, I knew we weren't gonna lose either of these series. Like,
okay, I like
the
that.
casters, y'all slept on us both series. I saw that. 3-0 top 4. How are they, like, I don't understand.
It's just, it's amazing to see the crowd getting behind you. I think everyone likes an underdog story, and you know, with a fill-in, it sort of becomes that. But how far can this team push it?
I don't know. We're just gonna keep on playing the game and just have some fun.
Map by map, map by map, enjoy yourselves. But it's big shoes to fill coming in for a position like Gunless. And I think a lot of people, like fans, kind of wonder when a fill-in comes in, how do they play around you? Is it sort of like you do what you're comfortable doing?
Honestly, Austin's been really cool. Like, he's just asked me basically anything I do, and he's like, just do that, and I'll switch it up. So
I like that. I like that. Yeah, it's great. They're teammates. But hey, the fans love you. It's been amazing to see your results.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
It is not easy to do what you've been doing.
Thank you.
Good stuff, brother.
I appreciate all of you, for real.
Sparks is definitely feeling himself right now. And rightfully so, right? The crowd is loving him.
L. You know, that's fine.
I'll take the L, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's be honest. A substitute against London, he's been a top 4 team, yeah.
London, Toronto,
call me crazy.
Nobody would have expected that, let's be honest, right?
But listen, dude, it's Cinderella. It's awesome to watch. Like, heck of a run. And yeah, back-to-back 3-0. I mean, it's unreal what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
So props to them. Yeah, I'll hold my L.
Kill it tomorrow, too. All right. But yo, Nameless, man. LAG came in here, Cinderella story. Lando calls him the dark horse of the event. Toronto Ultra, and now the London Royal Ravens. Those are some quality wins.
Some quality wins. The Spark's been popping off throughout both of those series. The man deserves a lot of credit. Also, the turnaround from Asim and Huke today from their first series that they had yesterday. I mean, these guys were just frying in every single map. And the most impressive was that Search and Destroy in a 6-0 fashion. This is a team in LAG that haven't been playing that great in Search and Destroy throughout this game. To come in and win 6-0 versus a button-up London Royal Ravens team is extremely impressive. They look confident. They look like they went over the VOD on short notice to create strats like that. It's beautiful.
It made Afro struggle. Come on, man.
Yeah,
but
the 6.
Exactly. But the Scump play the game actually has to do with control, where LAG put in work big time.
I mean, it was so chaotic to see both these teams go at it in their offensive wins, and it come down to an offensive in the last time in the hands of London Royal Ravens. But I mean, this is insane. You can see all the pressure over here on the side of the B, but Slasher, he's gonna pick up 2, and he's just gonna wait for his teammates, right? A is still getting capped by 1 player, but this is when it really gets rogue. Huke gets onto the point, he gets the kill in tank, and there's just nobody there. Nobody from London makes a move to try and get on this hill. He's got Slasher looking over him on a 4 spree, and the point just gets gone. Spart hits the back, he finds a player, Slasher connects for 2, and nobody's close enough to stop the cap.
Where are the nades? I mean, that's back-to-back B points in both defensive rounds for London. Like, those nades have to hit. Yeah. You have to be able to weaken those players up, get into some solid positions. I mean, correct, 4 rounds, offensive rounds. I mean, that was a I don't know if we're going to see that one again.
How you're flustered right now is how I've been the last 2 days so far this event. And let's go ahead and recap what's been happening today, because the day started off pretty fun. We had the Paris Legion take on the London Royal Ravens, and aLLeY, London were able to finally get their first win this event.
I mean, it was a bit of a series, though, wasn't it? Paris was pushing them to the edge. Jimbo, I feel like, was playing lights out, but it was definitely Nasty. Nasty stepped up when he needed to for this squad. They defeat Paris 3-1, but then they come down, obviously, and they take that loss to LAG, but they looked better, but they're still struggling.
Yes, Paris, you know, I'm waiting to see them pop off.
Look out, you know?
You know what the thing is, like, you see the improvement, you see the progression, but also the second game of the day was Los Angeles Guerrillas, and this is when they took out the Toronto Ultra in Nameless. This Toronto team isn't a team that we used to talk about before, man.
Blow it up. Yeah.
Blow it up,
you gotta
man.
You gotta bring Hicks in.
But
to also just talk a bit about the series. This was one of like the worst series I've seen in Call of Duty, because there was so many bad plays. And on one side, you look at LAG, it's like, okay, they have a substitute player. They're trying to figure it out. But on the side of Toronto Ultra, some of the plays in Hardpoint were just so bad. Thinking about that Tuscan, I'm still gonna bring it up. That P2 play where they just waited in their spawn is just horrible. Like, this team in Hardpoint, they haven't won a Hardpoint across 2 majors at this point. True. And LAG took advantage of it. Every time Toronto made a mistake, LAG pounced on it, man. So for Toronto Ultra, they really need to go back and figure out if they're going to bring Hicks in or if they're going to look elsewhere in the challenger scene.
I'm going to quote Nameless on this one. I am mind blown that you just said blow the Toronto Ultra roster
Bring Hicks
up.
in.
There is not one player that you can point on this squad that has been the low for this team. It has been dips and highs across the board of players popping off and some players just having an off
If you haven't won a hard point in 2 majors,
replacing one player on Toronto Ultra is not going to fix their problem. It is down to the fundamentals of their hard point. They aren't rotating. They clearly aren't communicating properly. Even though they're a really good team, they're based around teamwork. There cannot be one player brought in to fix that.
There are some teams that have one player come in that make an immediate impact. You think back to when Priestahh was brought in, made an immediate impact.
Bad.
You bring in Hicksy, you replace either Cammy, because Cammy hasn't been playing that great throughout this game. I think he's honestly been their X factor. When he pops off, they do somehow get some wins. So I think maybe take Cammy out, or you can think about replacing Bance on this roster as well. In a little bit more mixier of a game, you bring in a player with a little bit more aggression, maybe you start to translate that into some hard points.
You know what, maybe we'll talk about this during the pre-show tomorrow, because aLLeY has a lot to say with the look on her face, but also New York versus the LA Thieves, where New York almost ran away with it. But LA, Joe, they stole the win away.
We talk about specific wins that maybe sort of change your outlook on the year, right? This could be it for LA Thieves. They lose this, and who knows what happens? Talking about roster changes, you're right, you're 0-5, that'd be 0-6 throughout stage 2.
Not good. Right, that good.
But it's just, you know, it's a bounce back. That's not LA Thieves, but that was, you know, here, Kenny. I mean, you know, you got to start out hot for now. But I think it's, as they talked about, a confidence thing for this team. Drazah, especially in those respawns, he was popping off.
Turned up.
If he could play like that, similar to like what we saw at the Kickoff Classic at times, this team it's scary. They're very talented.
We're so good at search and destroy.
But this could be, I mean, a huge momentum shift for the Los Angeles Thieves.
All right, now let's go ahead and talk about the last one, Texas versus Minnesota, where the Røkkr crowd shut out in a big way. And let this be a notice for every other team out there that throws an event. Get your crowd out there, because hyping up your team just makes things so much better.
And you know what? Scump is an absolute lanimal. It was the SMG duo for the OpTic Texas that got them this series. Obviously, Minnesota Røkkr is an incredible search team, and we saw that in the Desert Siege. But the thing for them is Shotzzy turned out hot on map 1. Like, he didn't warm up later in the series like he usually does. He was instantly turned, and it was just the OpTic Texas that we knew we were going to see.
But an OpTic came out the gate swinging, man. That Minnesota Røkkr team, they could have taken to a map 5. I was believing in it, Joe, but they just didn't have the juice to compete.
I mean, Minnesota, they've struggled in hardpoint all year long, and against this OpTic team, there was just too many openings. Like, we kept pointing it out, just all of the routes that Shotzzy or iLLeY were taking, flipping those spawns. We even heard in the comms, like, where's this player, where's this player? They have to lock that down. You can't allow those playmakers to be doing that.
And talking about playmakers, there was a play that just blew everybody's mind this event, and we all went crazy on the desk. The Game Field Tactical play featured none other than Neptune from NYSL, where that trigger discipline paid off in a big way, and he was making a statement this game.
Bro, I mean, this play was just, like, super unfortunate. If I was the LA Thieves, I would have lost absolute composure right here. Like, this trigger display, I mean, this is huge.
Look at that line.
But honestly, I mean, not to take some shine away from his moment, later in this map, he ultimately cost it. When he was bottom P5,
you're right.
When they wrapped that bomb site in LA Thieves and they were pushing through top P5, if he doesn't run out to Fountain there, they get those kills and they potentially win that round and force, you know, a round 11. So for New York and for Neptune, where there was a lot of improvement, there were still some mistakes that he was making, and sometimes you can be a little bit too free on the map. So New York, while they look better, have some improvements to make.
And those are the rounds that LA Thieves have struggled with, like giving up those clutch moments in map 5s, right? They have to button that up. I know it's different philosophies, but in that sort of situation, to me, you're going to let the bomb be planted. You can play the 2v1 retake. Taking those steps forward allows Neptune to make that play.
Yeah, definitely. But also, ladies and gentlemen, this has been crazy. I'm pretty much pooped right now, but let's take a look at the bracket to see how things have evolved so far at the Røkkr Major 2. Take a look at the top side of the bracket. We got 4 teams, Surge, FaZe, Mutineers, and the Boston Breach. But the excitement that happened today was down at the bottom. OpTic will face off against the Los Angeles Thieves, and the Guerrillas will play against the winner of that, Nameless. This is just a weird-looking picture with all of what we thought the event was going to turn out to be last week.
I'm just ready for those winners round 2 matches, right? Like, Mutineers or Breach are going to be top 3, which is absolutely insane. Surge, and most recently, they beat FaZe. So, like, imagine if we have, like Surge versus either one of those teams in winners finals is wild.
Nobody predicted that. No one.
And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure if FaZe were to lose to Surge, they drop down to play the winner of OpTic and Thieves.
True.
Which means one of them is like
super possible.
All right, so Surge beating FaZe could just be absolute pandemonium for our Major 2.
Top 3 for any of the winners on the top side of the bracket. Let's take a look at the schedule to see how things will go down and what order. Yo, production, whoever's running this, you put up a good one. OpTic Texas will take on the Los Angeles Thieves to start out the day. And then right after that, Boston Breach versus Florida Mutineers. But aLLeY, I think we're going to be in for a treat for that Seattle Surge and Atlanta FaZe game. I'm waiting for that.
Oh yeah, we're in for a treat that's going to be very quick if you ask me, and only some of you know what I'm talking about. But I think the OpTic and LA Thieves match is going to be a banger to start off the day.
I'm on your side with that one. I think it's going to have, we're going to argue with the talent later on about that. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been 2 days so far. The last 48 hours has been absolutely insane. From the surprises and upsets, from the crowd getting hype as ever. But ladies and gentlemen, day 3 is going to be even better as we progress in the tournament. I'm going to thank you guys for tuning in so far. And don't forget, catch us at the same place and the same time tomorrow to continue on with the Røkkr Major 2. It's been a blast so far. You're all beautiful people. I hope you all have a good night. We'll see you later on for some more Call of Duty action.